the morning good?
Not over here, it ain't.
Okay, Morgan.
Oh, I thought you were asking me. I didn't know you was asking everybody else yet.
Yeah, I was asking them.
That's my bad.
But you know what? Hey, you jumped right on in there. You got in there.
Hey, morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, fiancés. Hi, friends. Hi, news bays.
I like that. I like news bays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a thing on the Patreon, but I don't actually remember. like a level.
A level. I know.
If it isn't one, I did think of it. It didn't maybe make the cut. I don't know.
What up, y'all?
Thursday disclaimer for Morgan. I just asked Ambush earlier, what's my name when I have a migraine? And what did you say? Chaka?
Yeah.
He sometimes calls me Mocha Jones.
Mm-hmm. But she's got a migraine. It is now Chaka Jones.
Which is very close to Chaka Kahn.
Yeah.
And so I want y'all to know how happy that made me.
Chaka Jones. Chaka Jones. Chaka Jones.
I love it. But I woke up at 5 and was like, oh no. I went to bed just fine. I was totally fine. And, you're probably very tired of hearing me say I have a migraine this morning. I'm tired of saying it. I'm tired of living it.
Honestly, I think it breeds solidarity with all the migraine warriors out there.
Well,
you are not alone.
I hope that's true.
I am with you.
Oh.
That's how it goes, right?
I didn't understand what was happening at first, but now I do.
Well, yeah. That's what I think.
I can't remember who I was talking to this week at some point, but we're talking about having any sort of ailment, that can't be seen and how other people treat you when they can't see your ailment or disability. Also, shouldn't this be considered? I don't know. I feel pretty debilitated from having my entire day be shut down, or days, or parts of my days.
Are you asking if this should be considered a disability?
Yeah.
Yes. Honestly.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Yeah. Will the insurance companies get on board
Say
for that?
Probably
not.
Also, pre-existing condition? Question mark?
Boom.
Like if I were to get a new insurance, because I don't have. Anywho,
Michelle said, "It is a morning, everyone." Also, I might need some Chaka Kahn energy, to be honest.
For real,
I'm gonna find some Chaka Kahn.
You gonna have to do it for us.
Yeah.
Good morning, Michelle. I hope you're feeling good today.
Shelly.
I was anyway. In that conversation about having migraines and stuff. I was talking with one of my aunts. We were talking about how you kind of get forced rest, which doesn't feel like rest. Or the only time I get to rest is because I'm hurting.
Yeah.
And I don't remember getting to just you know what? Today I'm laying down. I'm not doing anything today without it being, I'm hurt. I can't get out of bed. Isn't that wild?
You know what? And then the added layer of, I'm not feeling well. I'm stuck in bed or I'm stuck on the couch. The added layer of guilt.
Boy.
It is not like scheduled designated rest time. This isn't like I booked some time at the spa. I took off a week of work. It's in my schedule. I'm going to take a nap at 4. This isn't that. This is you being, air quote, taken out the game. Being benched. Look what the universe has done to me. It's benched me. Now I got to sit here on this couch and eat this homemade applesauce that my dad made for me. but I won't eat it no matter how many times he offers it to me. And then I'm just going to leave it in the fridge and not have it.
A different story
and go back to college. And then my dad's going to send me a locket of him eating the applesauce and be like, hey, I could make you some when you get back. And then you're like, I don't want any of that applesauce, Dad. It's just apple puree.
This really sounds like something that happened actually in your life, maybe this weekend.
I'm just trying to relate to our audience.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. He's right. Relatable, right, guys? Relatable content. Relatable content. You guys, yeah. We've all been there.
We've all been there. I don't know if we've all been there, but close. Close.
Yeah. Pick up what I'm putting down.
Well, I'm going to say what we're going to talk about today, and then maybe we can.
Chaka Kahn.
In local news, we're going to definitely talk about the pause on the camp sweeps to start the what's it called? Count in time. Something like that.
Yeah, there's a count in place. You said count in time?
Count in place?
Yeah.
Place in count? Place in time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. It's a good thing the story is written. Yeah, they're going to put a little pause on camp sweeps, so we'll talk about that. Right. Definitely going to talk about the Providence strike. Still moving and grooving. Solidarity. In national news, who will defend us against Trump's defense secretary nominee, Pete Hegseth? Now, we've talked about him before, and we're going to talk about him again. That confirmation hearing was something.
Yeah. A whole lot.
I don't have any idea what these are for, in all honesty.
The hearings?
The hearings.
Yeah.
It's theater.
100%.
I mean...
Yeah. Do you have any doubts that he's going to be confirmed?
No.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to lie.
The one thing I'll tell you I didn't get to is apparently he has responded. Maybe I'll get to this at a break or something. But apparently he has responded to explain or defend his white nationalist tattoos. And I'm guessing he's going to say, I don't know anything about white or nationalism.
What is it?
I'm a white who loves America.
Which
I think
is my nation.
And I think that we love it so much we put it on our bods. I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna say, but apparently he has. So I'll look that up. If it's anything the way that he defended potentially beating up one of his spouses,
what did he say?
I would never. Or those are false accusations against me, Senator.
That my mom made.
Yeah.
P-Town says, fantastic rising.
P-Town.
In my quiet voice, Fiancé. F am I great?
Yes.
Like, F Renee. Happy ceasefire day. Maybe. Day.
Yes. We will definitely be talking about that as well. Good morning, P-Town.
It was great seeing you on the our Monday night.
Yes, it was so great.
Yes. Oh yeah, we'll be talking about all of them things. But before we get to that,
can I say one more thing before we get to anything?
Yeah.
Michelle Obama is not going to attend the inauguration of one Donald John Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm confused because a bunch of the articles and fodder about it is how unprecedented it is. And I guess, is it unprecedented for a former first lady? Because Trump didn't go to Biden's inauguration. Like, there's not a whole lot that's unprecedented when you throw in a chaos agent.
My confusion is, when they go low. Okay, so Michelle's not going. And people are like, yeah, you show 'em. And I'm like, too little, too late.
I mean, yeah.
I don't care. I don't care. Y'all the ones that chose to make this some, war of pleasantries. Y'all the ones decided to make that important. It's as annoying as hearing Biden talk about, we're heading towards the oligarchy. You didn't know that when we were screaming that at you. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all want to be. I'm throw all the cordial stuff out the window. I just won't be. We've been told y'all stop rubbing elbows with these people. Stop. You're normalizing them. You're making them seem like human beings.
Well, I mean,
you know how I feel about it.
Okay. I mean,
because you're wearing human skin, they'll make you one.
Okay. No. I didn't expect you to say that right now. But,
I know.
Okay.
I know. Monsters. They surround us. The invasion has started.
Okay.
I made the big wild eyes at her. Damn. But yeah, I just, whatever. Woo, you're not going.
I mean, yeah.
It's like you said, Trump did it first.
To me, I'm not
best.
I want to know, like, were they being hounded? Was Michelle Obama's camp being hounded for answers on that, or did they put out a press release that's like, "Yeah, guys, Michelle's not going to be there."
Right.
We could have just seen it. Could have just been like, "Oh shoot, she ain't even there." She got a migraine.
She wasn't at what was it, Carter's funeral?
Oh, I don't know.
And Obama sat directly next to Trump.
Oh, right.
And that's how I noticed that Michelle wasn't there. Because Bill and Hillary sat together.
Oh man,
Kamala and her husband sat together, and then it was Biden. No, and then it was Obama, Trump, and
Bush and his wife.
No, Trump's wife, Melania. Yeah, I was like, "Where's Michelle?" Oh.
So somewhere in there was Laura Bush and I didn't see George, but W.
I do recall seeing him.
But I remember I saw someone post a picture that's Obama and Trump talking, and they were like, I'm the white lady in the corner, just get me through this, and she's just staring, and I'm like, oh wow, I'm at that age now where it's like, that's Laura Bush. Like, y'all don't know that's
right,
a former first. Dang.
Not a random white lady in the corner. Oh, yeah.
P-Town said, forget all them mcmonsters. Oh no, my head. That was fantastic. mcmonsters is going in my pocket. Somebody's getting called that later.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny me hearing you like say it later in like a serious context. I'm like, they're mcmonsters.
These are mcmonsters we're dealing with.
Get it together, guys. Understand what's at stake.
Going in my pocket. I laughed really hard when I called old boy a McSnitch, and I've been laughing at that for quite some time. But mcmonsters is fantastic. Speaking of mcmonsters, do we want to talk about how Biden is securing his legacy as America's most effective Zionist? Or
I mean, yeah, we could start there, or we could start with a mcmonster of a social media problem approaching us on Sunday.
Well.
Thanks, P-Town.
Yeah, you kind of. We may overuse it today. I'm just gonna already preemptively apologize. We can do the TikTok ban. TikTok is weighing its options as a potential U.S. ban looms, with the app possibly going dark for its 170 million American users by Sunday, if the Supreme Court upholds a law requiring how do we even have this law? Requiring a law requiring the platform to divest from its Chinese ownership that was signed in April by Joe Biden. The law mandates TikTok to sell to a U.S. company or face shutdown. Beyond entertainment, TikTok serves as a vital platform for creators and businesses. Many rely on it for marketing and income, leaving influencers and brands scrambling to adjust their strategies. TikTok's fate depends on the Supreme Court's decision regarding the law's constitutionality, with Sunday marking a critical deadline. If banned, TikTok users in the U.S. users and creators face significant disruption, reshaping the short-form video landscape and potentially boosting competitors like Instagram and YouTube. I wonder who that would benefit.
It's interesting. I saw a video last night that talked about the percentage of users and content that would end up going to YouTube and Instagram as a result, like a breakdown. And it was huge numbers. It was like, between the two of them, I think like close to 49 or 50% of current users are
trying to pivot.
Would have to pivot
to one of
those two platforms to try to continue to make money. Then there's other platforms that are popping up. And I was excited to see in the 5 platforms that they named that people are running to, fan base. I was very excited to see fan base. Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
That's dope. I relogged into my account last night. Threw it in a shortcut. But I don't know. I felt like that was something I was aware of or was on my top of my mind early on when they were talking about banning TikTok. And I was like, yeah, because these guys are going to benefit. But in the conversations, the continuous conversations and propaganda around we're banning TikTok because we're concerned about China having our data, I lost. That part got lost. Wait a minute. Mark benefits directly from this. Directly. Like, yeah, Google benefits directly from this.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just Sunday. I just put up some new content yesterday on TikTok on our News of My Fiancé TikTok. Did extremely well, like quick fast. And I keep forgetting, like I don't spend enough time over there when I should, because the algorithm is it's just so much better. It really is. Like you're putting things up and the people that want to see it or are supposed to be seeing it, they see it.
Yeah.
It's not a bunch of, foolishness. But yeah. I because I don't use it that much, but I experience it through a lot of people in my orbit sharing content with me from TikTok, whether it's a text message or whatever. I am curious. Like if it shuts down on Sunday, the impact on the economy too. Like this is wild.
Well, definitely. I want to remind that I think that this TikTok ban, creators losing ways to make money or streams of income is so inconsequential to the people deciding that this needs to go away. Or really, it's not that it needs to go away. It's that they get to gain control of it. So they are able to control what gets posted and how, information even gets throttled. So like, to me, this is all about being able to control information when you have, what's his face? Zuckerberg out here saying, hey man, we realized we went too far with fact checking and censoring hate speech. And we just really want to live in a world where everyone will be nice to each other, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
As they're rolling it back, as they're like, you know what, we'll make it 1776 around here. We don't need any of the things that like Zuckerberg has been met with a no so many times when he's trying to enter the Chinese market. This backdoor, you can't be here. Gross. big gross. But it's important to, I think, really keep our eye on the prize. People's lives, as much as, I don't totally understand how much money these folks make on on TikTok. And I don't know. What I do know is there are quite a few people that are able to have that be their career.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I don't know much about like the TikTok shop and stuff like that, but I know that that's people are doing well.
Yeah. The numbers are pretty
feels
high.
Very much like when, in all things, when all of a sudden there's a way for people to get creative and make some money, and they're doing that. Going to find a way to make it harder for you, or we're going to change the pay structure, or we're going to change the influencer fees, I feel bad for every single person who's, who is making their way on these apps, and these billionaires who just own stuff and are just like, are they users of any of these things for real? Probably not. They just own a bunch of stuff and hoard all the money and want to hoard all the power and want to be able to make all of the decisions for the rest of us. And when somebody who is just trying to do power grabs for themselves in other markets, and I know it's not just Zuckerberg, but like, even as ridiculous as that float was, where it's like Elon wants to buy TikTok, that shouldn't even be a thing that we could joke about. Like, the point is that they continue to take all of the things that could make folks okay. It's like, no, can't have that. And really, TikTok is an incredible way that, because there is not U.S. government control and the U.S. government is unable to put too much pressure on that company, we are still able to see things that are happening around the world. We are still able to see actual live videos coming out of Sudan, coming out of Gaza, Congo. We're still able to see it. We as people are still able to connect on global issues in a way that is really hard on Instagram or X or whatever.
Found the number I was finally looking for.
Okay.
The latest industry data shows that TikTok influencers earn an average salary of $131,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, you're playing around with people. And to your point of why that doesn't really matter to those that have the power, right?
Yeah.
One, it doesn't matter. Two, for Mark, all that is, you're over there making that money for that platform. Let's get you
right.
Let's get you on over here.
You can make that.
Let's get you.
We can run as many ads as the blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Get on over here, bud.
Come on over here. Come on over here. So I can, do Spotify numbers to you.
It's there. The Zuckerberg part of this, really, I cannot let go of, because this is a person who, like, so badly wants to be a part of the Chinese market and learned Mandarin and like married a woman, a Chinese woman. I'm not saying he married a Chinese woman because he wants to take over the Chinese market. There's something to be said, but
right.
But he, Instagram and Facebook and all of that's been blocked in China.
Right.
He hasn't been a part of that market. He hasn't been able to, become a trillionaire off of that. I don't know.
Poor Mark.
Do we not call Facebook anymore? I see a lot of things that are just like...
The book? Or...
No.
Meta?
Yeah.
Yeah. P-Town asked, Is the OnlyFans a resource that content?
Maybe.
I believe so.
Depending on the content they make.
Yep. I'm going to say yeah.
Real quick, just to cap any Zuckerberg talk, because he is doing that signaling to the right and the Trump administration and making strategic moves, I saw a clip of him on Joe Rogan. Yes, this was a clip. Yes, I am responding to a clip.
They're calling it the Billionaire Bros podcast now.
Sorry if
that's what they call the Rogan Experience. Billionaire Bros. The Billionaire Bros podcast.
I do remember a time when Joe Rogan was talking to one Bernie Sanders, and they were talking about how billionaires actually shouldn't exist. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, the Zuck was on there, like, complaining about being investigated by the Consumer Protection Bureau. And the way that he, it was so funny. He's like, I don't even know, what it's called, what it stands for. It's like finances or something. It's like, we're not a bank, like, I don't even know what this is about. And I don't really know what the agency is. It's Elizabeth Warren started it. And Joe goes, oh, God. Joe Rogan, who does in fact understand the needs for regulations, need for protecting consumers, will talk about that without it being a federal agency, like, is like, oh God, Elizabeth Warren. Y'all, I definitely have biases.
Yeah.
But the way that they lay theirs out, like, not only was it a woman, it's that woman who made where really this is a woman who took on the banking industry. You know what I mean? And was like, hey guys, you're doing some shady stuff. Like,
what are you actually complaining about?
What are you actually complaining about? And Meta being investigated, consumer protection. Like, what do you not understand? What do you call people?
Well, it's a front for the deep state.
But I mean, are they just users, or do they consume everything on Meta? Like, what that word means when you want to know what that word means. Right. All of a sudden, consumers don't need protection from you. They don't. What do they need protection on a social media app for, sir?
That's you're not protecting. Not only, I mean, I think it would be less alarming and less unsettling if, at the very least, he was protecting us from other users. Like,
right.
Then I think we'd be thinking less about whether we're protected against him and our data protected against him. You can't go in there and have peace. You just can't. You cannot go in there and have peace. The real world out here, people are yelling at you that racism is over and we're post-racial. Get it together and get over it. And then you hop on Facebook.
There's a lot of hard R's.
Right back to the 1930s. It's like, man,
there's a lot of hard R's over there.
Mark, protect me.
And you want me to be on that thing.
You're listening to X-Ray FM at KXRY Portland at 91.1 and 107.1 FM, and then the Hale and Wheeler, Manzanita, and Rockaway Beach at 91.7 FM. Streaming online everywhere at xray.fm. Yeah.
We do have another little thing to chat about.
Yeah, it ain't little.
Fiancés, I want to know how you're feeling about this. Yesterday, there was the announcement that Israel and Hamas agreed to a ceasefire. I was waiting for like an applause button or yeah, woo, woo, yeah,
woo.
Ah. There we go. There it is. Thank you. Ending a 15-month conflict that resulted in significant... I can't even say that. Conflict. What's important here? Well, there's a lot important here. But when President-elect Trump played a pivotal role in facilitating this ceasefire. And a lot of folks don't want to give credit in that regard that, Trump had anything to do with this.
Just at me, bro. I'm right here.
Are you people?
I'm a lot of folks. I'm not giving him any credit.
All right.
At me, bro.
Do you give that credit to Joe Biden?
Yeah. No,
I don't believe you. I'm looking at you, and that body language did not look like you meant that.
I don't give credit to anyone in the way that this is strategic to benefit Israel.
Okay.
This is just all part of their strategy. No one gets credit.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is happening during Biden's administration. That's all I'm going to say about that.
It's happening during Biden's administration, and it didn't happen with any of Biden's administration. Steve Witkoff, who is the Middle East envoy that Trump appointed, is like his golf buddy. He is not a politician. He is not a diplomat. He has no, that's not the world he comes from. But apparently he's a negotiator, like he was able to get down in there and say, listen, the president wants this.
And we're going to make it happen.
What I don't, there's not a lot yet because the things that we do that are being reported are things they want us to know, not the rest of it.
Right.
But the concessions, the kind of things that they're, would have been making in that negotiation is the part that we need to pay attention to, because saying anything like this is a ceasefire and it may, you may unpause at some point, giving them that door or the key to that door, however we look at that, for the ability to, let's come back to this later. I just need to be able to look like I did a thing. And it's 7 days, bro. Or whatever. It's not 7 days. It's 42 days.
Okay.
Sorry, 7 days, different ceasefire. We'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it feels very much like you are going to be able to, I don't know, see a lot of people doing some new real estate deals. Or, what's his name? Kushner is going to show up with fancy plans for the waterfront properties that he wants to build and whatnot.
What's the over and under that BB will be at the inauguration now? Ceasefire.
Well, he's a war. I don't. Okay, probably there. Where can he go without getting arrested? America for sure.
John said, "Good morning."
Good morning, John.
It reminds me of when Reagan interfered with Carter getting the Iranian hostages released. Yes, John, you are correct. 'Tis reminiscent. People playing politics with whole wars and people's lives.
Oh, I think this is this P-Town?
Yeah.
Nah, it's that Pam lady. She's the one. She's going to be selling off parts of Gaza that will bring them wealth. Bondi. You're totally right. I mean, yeah, it's a property grab. There you go. mcmonsters.
Yeah, Bondi is...
Bondi's real bad. It's the whole cabinet. It's the whole...
Cabal.
Cabinet's the wrong word. Cabal.
Yeah. P-Town called them war pimps, and I like it.
Oh my God, war pimps is amazing.
That's the t-shirt.
Yes. But it's like Mount Rushmore. Yeah. All right, somebody make the.
Alex, you need you on the job.
Alex, are you listening?
Yeah.
One thing I just want to say. It does not behoove America to, and I'm talking America as an imperialist force, as a colonizing, a closet colonizer.
Closet?
I'd say. Yeah, because they always try and do it behind someone else's situation. So it's like, all of these proxy wars where you can't really explain to us why you are still sending all of this money and all these weapons to continue to kill all these brown people and decimate everything that they've ever known. You have yet to do that. The only thing you still have for the last 15 months is it has a right to defend itself.
Covert colonizer. Be like,
oh, mcmonster.
Yeah.
Okay.
War pimps.
The fact that Joe Biden is going out this sad to me, like to be in U.S. government for 105 years and you leave it as the person who left a genocide happening. He left a genocide happening, paying for it. California on fire.
Yep. Yep.
The South frozen. Still ain't thought about nothing about how to fix a power grid anywhere. Like, y'all want so badly to be able to move oil across the country, but you can't put a power line underneath?
The Far Side has a song called If I Were President. And if I were president, I would make governors very uncomfortable because I cannot, in good conscience, because here's the thing, your constituents are also still my constituents.
Right.
And I'm still going to need them when it comes time for re-election. So if I'm looking at you not doing what you're supposed to be doing for your power grid, I need an investigation. And then I'm also sending federal resources to do what needs to be done in lieu while you're being investigated.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just, there's so many things in so many different ways that the Democrats could have stepped up over the last 4 years. So many things. I mean, just going back to what they promised, right? Stuff that got you in, Bernie's policies. And now it's, hey, man, there's an oligarch about to step in. Shush up your mouth, Sleepy Joe. I don't want to hear anything from you.
Sleepy Joe.
I don't want to hear anything, dude. Just shut it down.
Just a couple more days, Grandpa. Just a couple more days.
Pack up your things, Gramps. Get out of here. Get out of here. Stop. And now, because he will no longer be in the White House, his vitality is going to come back. He's dealing with less stress, and now he's going to get more mouthy.
That's funny because that's possible. Except for I think that he's pretty far gone. Like, I don't know that it's a comeback season in him. I think at some point Jill is going to have to wrestle with the fact that she was a part of harming her husband. Because he shouldn't have been. First of all, he should not be working still.
Yeah, that's true.
P-Town said, "Is it too late to sign up to get sent back to Mexico somewhere?" Asking for a friend.
Yikes!
All right, we did what we weren't supposed to do, and now it's 8:12. So
I had no idea. I had no watch on.
Oh no, and I didn't put the Ambush. You're clueless.
I've been looking over here on the other computer.
I haven't set you up for success. Well,
I am not a man about town right now.
We're gonna take a music break, and we'll come back and get into one of these local stories first.
Yeah. And we are back. That was Chaka Kahn's "Ain't Nobody" right here on X-Ray FM. The time is now 8:17, and you're listening to News My Fiancé.
Ambush, what did we do last night?
Oh, we went to. That was our first. It was date night. That was our first as a
couple.
As a media couple. Went to city council meeting, and we were very excited to go because.
Shout out to Chris Olsen for doing a call out there.
Chris, you're the reason we showed up.
Yeah,
say that right now.
Letting us know that there were some people on the city council that were looking to get rid of the evening meetings, and so we felt like people better show up to the evening meeting.
Yeah. You know why it benefits city council to not have a evening meeting? To obfuscate and hide procedures during business hours when people are at work and they cannot attend the meetings.
Yep.
You know, so shout out to Chris. Thank you, sir.
And the city council meeting was what city council meetings are. It was hilariously boring. No, we sat through a couple of presentations, and one citizen showed up, and we were in the second balcony.
Yeah.
Or the balcony, I guess.
The balcony on the third floor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's happening to my
No, it's screwy. We were in the balcony, which is the second part of the room, on the third floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he comes up there, he's up there with us, and then they call, okay, we have one person testifying.
Mm-hmm. Community.
And he's like,
wait, he walks to the edge of the balcony.
Yeah.
So now he's in plain view of all city council and all of us up here on the balcony.
Yes. And he's like, yes, that's me. You do not reserve seats for anybody testifying. So I'll have to come down there. I'll be with you in a moment. And then he went out and I think got on the elevator, like it took a while. Definitely left us there for a moment.
So I understand he says this, and it was like the energy was. I wish I had someone else to compare him to. What were you going to say?
If you ever watch 30 Rock, he's Jonah. I think that's his name, with the trucker hat.
Yeah. I was going to say the way he delivered the lines and the posturing remind me of Laszlo in a way of, I have said a thing, you will dwell on it. And so he says this, and we all are reacting like, oh, okay. And then we now have to wait. Like, everyone in the room is just sitting there waiting, looking at each other, trying to not laugh. And we're still waiting. Like you said, it seemed like he must have waited on the elevator. He gets down he gets down there, and then he comes in, and it's like, okay. And when he sits at the mic, he's so close to the mic that it's like, it was hilarious. He was making some very serious points, though. But that was hilarious. I hadn't been in that room in so long, and I can't remember the circumstances under which I was in there before. But it was great. It was great. It was great to be there. Shout out to anyone that stayed for the whole thing. We didn't get a chance to because we had to write the news, amongst many other things. And do you think you'll start attending city council meetings more frequently, listeners? Especially with these evening meetings, I think it's important that we do show up, show some support for that, But yeah.
It was very funny to hear somebody testify via Zoom about how not so different the Northwest neighborhood, what did she call it? The stadium hood? Wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
We're not so different from you East Side Portlanders. I was like, what? And what are you doing? You're making yourself not like us East Siders. Judah Friedlander is who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I think his name is Jonah in the show, but it was all that energy. My man's the trucker hat, the hair, the beard.
It definitely was.
The sweatshirt, like 3 sweatshirts, zip up sweatshirts over a t-shirt and some shorts because, you know.
Yeah. His
like
pants legs rolled up.
Yeah, man's was tight though.
Yeah.
He said a couple of things the wrong way, but I think he had good intentions.
Yeah, his overall point was on point. It dealt with housing. And it was important for, I was going to say it's important for Dan Ryan to have to sit there and take it, but he doesn't care.
He definitely
He's been being told that he hasn't done his job for quite some time now.
Yeah. And he's at work, so.
Yeah, boom. After playing Ain't Nobody, Matt said, Kraftwerk definitely wish they wrote the first 10 seconds of that song for sure. I'd agree, Matt.
Good morning, Matt.
I would agree.
Yeah, big time.
What?
Well, Ambush, we got two local stories.
Yeah.
You want to hit the pause or the strike?
Let's hit the pause. Yeah. Portland announces a 7-day ceasefire. I'm sorry, that caught me off guard.
Ambush doesn't like my headlines.
No, I was caught off guard. Portland announces a 7-day ceasefire on folks living outside. Portland hits pause on camp sweeps for homeless population count. In a rare moment of reprieve, the city of Portland will temporarily halt homeless camp sweeps from January 20th to January 27th to conduct the federally mandated point-in-time count.
Point-in-time. Pit.
Shouldn't they be halting the sweeps? Let me find my words here. Because winter, maybe? Could we just put a pause on effing winter sweeps?
Well, I don't even know what your problem is. It hasn't even been that cold. There hasn't even been any snow yet. Is it winter?
Oh my
Feels like spring out there if you're...
This biennial effort aims to collect crucial demographic data on individuals experiencing homelessness across Multnomah, Clackamas, and Washington counties. Portland Mayor Keith Wilson emphasized the importance of the count, stating the point-in-time count is a federally required study critical to understanding our community and securing much-needed federal funding. While routine camp removals are briefly paused, all other city services will continue, including the critical work of our first responders who are ready to address any urgent issues or emergencies. The count, led by Portland State University's Homelessness Research and Action Collaborative, is a collaborative effort involving volunteers and contracted crews. During the week-long pause, crews will focus on trash removal and camper-identified cleanup rather than conducting sweeps. So there is a way to just do the thing that needs to be done the way it needs to be done.
Sure. Yeah.
Oregon holds the unenviable position of having the second highest rate of unsheltered homelessness in the nation, according to a 2023 PSU report. In Multnomah County alone, the last count identified 6,297 people experiencing homelessness, with a staggering 62.6% living unsheltered. Indigenous, Black, and Brown people are overrepresented. This year's count will continue to shape local and federal responses to the crisis, influencing funding allocations and policy decisions. Volunteers are essential to the success of the count. Those interested must complete a 90-minute Zoom training session before joining teams in the field. Volunteers and crews will visit reported sites, document conditions, and engage with individuals to gather data. Camp sweeps are set to resume on Tuesday, January 28th. For more information on volunteering, visit the city's official website, portland.gov. So, in Mayor Wilson's quote, he said the point-in-time count is a federally required study critical to understanding our community and securing much-needed federal funding. Mm-hmm. Without even going to that other side of the internet where the trolls dwell, them hearing that I can imagine them hearing that the sweeps are pausing is, really burning their britches. It's just, setting them off. Even though the pause is so they can get the data to the federal level so they can receive the funding to address the issue.
Yeah.
They would still be upset with the pause and say, you guys need to do something about it. But doing something about it requires the funding that they need to secure by doing the pause. There's just too many steps in there for some of these rage baiters to overstand.
There, we got a few texts. P-Town said, and now I say, move now. F their count. It's all about more money. Also, I say, take the example from the strikes and the boycotts. Boycott also social media, but I think that's supposed to say social media boycott. Any activity that gives federal bureaucrat more money. Well, that.
Ooh. Wow. Did you see that one?
In Pasadena?
Yeah.
Bob, in Pasadena, there are thieves dressed as firefighters. In Portland and other cities, there are thieves dressed as landlords.
Hello, Bob.
Bob, will you start writing for us?
Yikes.
Bruh.
It's true, though.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay, wait. So I think P-Town said, if we got everyone to get off social media for 1 week, do our mcmonsters count? You know what?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll just say yes to it?
Yeah. Again, there shouldn't be any sweeps happening. There certainly shouldn't be any sweeps happening in the winter. The only thing that should be happening
is housing
trash removal. Yes.
Sorry.
Definitely housing. But the aforementioned trash removal and the things that the campers are telling you they would like continue with those services.
I want people to really think about, especially when they get hit with the propagandas. And don't get me wrong, we definitely do some propaganda here. It's just to get people to understand that we need to care about each other more than we do.
True.
But when you're hit with the things like the homeless are starting all the fires, or, you know, like there's a lot of the, you know, same people that have made hating Portland their personality. Other places have those people. California definitely has those people. Those people that are like, it was never like this before, even though California and LA specifically has always been holding that #1 spot of homelessness. Like, a lot of folks are saying it's the homeless people starting extra fires and doing stuff like that. And I saw Bill Burr say, they light fires every day. They live outside. What are you talking about?
Right.
And there is just something so simple about what's actually happening, and that we just don't. Somehow folks are getting swept into these not complicated and not true things. You know, it's just like, not everything's a conspiracy and not everything is 9D chess.
Right.
A lot of things are really very plain. They're just going to tell you it's complicated to make you think you can't get it. And is it dangerous to have people living outside while they are trying to stay warm? Yes. Is it dangerous to have people living outside next to a freeway, or, you know, yes. How do we fix that? We house those people. We don't take away the resources to keep them warm, or tell them, like, the reason there are fires is there's no way for them to just safely create the fire. They're out here having to use propane and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that should not. Remember that fire we saw over the interstate?
Oh,
or next to I-5? Like,
yeah, so by Killingsworth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
wow. That was wild.
Propane tank went up.
Like, these are not people that I think this is Bob. I can't tell the numbers, but full disclosure,
yes,
I
Bob.
plagiarized my thieves comment from Mrs. Betty Bowers, America's best Christian. I would be a thief. I would be the thief if I didn't acknowledge. You know what?
Go ahead, Betty.
This is what I'm saying. Best people in listening to this show.
Yeah. Pete, I said, what? How are the poorest getting propane?
Yeah, well.
You know what it is, P-Town? It's those cans.
That 5-finger discount.
It's those cans. They're gathering up all these cans and they're selling these cans to buy propane and fentanyl.
Foil.
Propane
and foil.
And fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
You got to get rid of those can exchanges.
All right.
Exhausting.
Let's move on.
So exhausting.
Shall we do the
strike?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not. My brain doesn't work right now.
It's quite all right, man. You started out the show letting everyone know
that my brain doesn't work.
The migraine's in town.
I'm over it.
And I was going to say she brought her bags, and I was like, why are we making it a woman? He brought his bags. Uncle Migraine came to town.
Michael the Migraine.
Yeah.
I'm here for that because this. I don't feel like a woman would do this to me.
No. No.
Not consistently.
No.
No.
I don't think so.
It'd be on accident.
Gunner. Your migraine's name is Gunner. I know some good Michaels. I don't know.
Oh, fair enough. I was just trying to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it.
And it was
Shooter.
You were there. It is. When Hegseth was naming all of his children.
Oh, stop!
And so he opened his statement, thanking the different people for being there, and of course my wonderful family. Mind you, he forgot some of his kids' names while running the list. He was like, "There's so many of them." He said
this is a quote.
Yeah, he said that as he was forgetting his kids' names. But one of the kids' names was Gunner, and I was like, "Yeah, of course you named one of your kids Gunner." What? Shout out to all the great Gunners. But you got to admit, it's one of those names. Gunner.
Are there people named Gunner? Like regular people?
Well, usually it's in 80s films. But.
Yeah. I'm like, Shooter McGavin? is there someone named that somewhere? Is that a name? And I'm going to say this. Let's not get Morgan started on bringing race into everything. But honestly, naming your kids Gunner and then being like, what's a Keisha? Come on.
Also, what is a gunner?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You served in the military. You know what a gunner is. You think that's an appropriate name for your kid? Okay. Cool.
Oh my gosh. He stumbled over his son Rex's name, saying, sorry, it's a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah. He Hegseth all over that thing.
Gunner, Boone, and Rex. So, yeah, I mean. Oh, no. Oh, my head hurts so bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's hilarious. What a Christmas card, Does Gunner hold the AK-47 in the gun? In the Christmas card?
Gunner Nelson from Nelson is your migraine. Okay, we got a good one. Not that the others were good. Someone said Gunner is a common man's name in Nordic countries.
Really?
Well, hello. I wonder if it's spelled the same way.
Was it Gunther?
And change it to Gunner, you're thinking?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that. Listen. Let me be very clear. Yeah. I would like to hit the dump button. We don't need to. No one needs to know I just said that. No one needs to know how. Oh, I get it.
Right. No one needs to know I said that. Hilarious.
It means fighter, soldier, or attacker. In Old Norse.
Does mean exactly what I insinuated.
Oh, it is derived from the Old Norse word Gunnar, meaning war and warrior. Yeah.
literally everything I insinuated.
Yeah.
Wow.
You start calling Thor Gunner.
I prefer that you did.
Oh, okay.
He's Odin's son.
Yeah.
Gunner with an A.
Yeah. Is the Nordic one.
Americans can't spell. Thank you so much.
This is absolutely true.
Please text us your name so we can attach it to your number or a name you would like us to refer you to because you killed it.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Who said, just saying a woman would do this? Oh, a white woman named Pam. Correct. P-Town. You win.
Yeah.
There are a couple of white women that I used to work with that I know that would do this to me. So I do take that back.
No, Gunnar with an A really that makes a whole lot
that changes.
Sense.
Oh, it totally changes the game.
Yeah.
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 But I'm going to say that Pete knows as much as Google's AI tells him about Nordic culture.
When he's sober.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Don't put that evil on me.
No, I don't. I mean, this is listen, if you have to be in a confirmation hearing and a senator is like, hey, look, man, other people get to drink at work. What am I going to say about this guy drinking at work? We're off the deep end. And he promises he's not going to.
As soon as I get the job, I'm going to stop drinking. Tony Starkface.
When I think it was Tim Kaine. No, was it Tim Kaine who was questioning him? And one of the clips he was asking it, like, "Hey, you would think it's disqualifying if somebody hit their spouse, right?" And he was like, "Those are unfounded charges." And he was like, "Okay, it would be disqualifying though. Like, nothing to do with you." It would be disqualifying, Senator. That have nothing to do with that. Like, so would it be disqualifying? You could say it's going to be disqualifying. They can't do it because, there is no such thing as a disqualifying measure for someone like Pete Hegseth or Kavanaugh or Bondi.
They can't do it, nor do they have to. So that's why these confirmation hearings for me have been and will continue to be a waste of time because they're asking them direct questions that have simple yes or no answers. They are choosing not to answer those questions and then going off on tangents and saying whatever they want to say. But at no point is there like a score sheet, right? Where it's like, okay, we asked these questions, they're not responding, therefore they're not participating in the process,
right? So
they're disqualified. So I don't care. I don't care about this dog and pony show. I don't care. Y'all are wasting my time. I'm glad people get paid to produce these shows. Shout out to the cameraman and whoever runs it. Like, get your checks, homies. It's rough out here.
This text from P-Town says, you got a Pam Gunner McMonster migraine.
That's what you got.
And that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But this is the most important text of the day, and the day isn't over.
Okay.
Damn, Ambush. I hope she getting double pay today. And that's all I'm saying. Samesies, girl. Me too. I hope.
P-Town, don't pick sides. P-Town, we're on a tight budget. She does deserve double pay.
All right. Get it.
Oh, like sick pay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of needing correct compensation for doing a hard job, Oregon's largest healthcare workers strike continues. The largest healthcare worker strike in Oregon's history is ongoing as thousands of Providence nurses and doctors continue to picket for better staffing levels and compensation. The strike, which began Friday, January 10th, has drawn participation from over 4,000 nurses across 8 Providence hospitals and 150 physicians and advanced practitioners from Providence, St. Vincent, and Providence Women's Clinics. Providence, a nonprofit Catholic healthcare organization, has faced multiple strikes in recent years, but this one stands out for its size and the inclusion of physicians. The Oregon Nurses Association, representing the nurses, and the American Federation of Teachers under which the physicians' unions fall, have emphasized that staffing and pay are interconnected issues. Dr. Robin Richards of the Providence Women's Clinic explained, quote, "We are asking to be on par with the local community so we can recruit and retain more physicians. Understaffing is a way for these healthcare facilities to make a profit. Providence has hired 2,000 replacement nurses to maintain operations, but the health system admits it's not business as usual, particularly in facilities where physicians are striking. The healthcare system claims its compensation is competitive and has offered nurses a 20% raise over 3 years, along with signing bonuses of up to $5,000. However, striking workers demand raises backdated to when their contract expired. Yes. In some cases over a year ago, as well as improved health insurance and paid time off. Dr. Richards highlighted how understaffing pressures physicians to see more patients daily, compromising care quality. Quote, I deal with pregnancy loss, PTSD, and trauma. I cannot be rushed, she said, advocating for measures like capping hospital admissions. How do you cap? Nurses theoretically protected by Oregon's nurse-to-patient ratio law passed in 2023 argue that Providence has disregarded these regulations. ONA has filed multiple complaints against Providence Hospital for failing to comply with the law. Providence withdrew from negotiations in late December after ONA issued a strike notice, prompting the union to file a complaint with the National Labor Relations Board. While Providence has since expressed willingness to return to the table, ONA continues to push for a contract that prioritizes patients and caregivers over profits. Support for the strike has come from local elected officials and labor leaders, but about 13% of unionized nurses have continued working through the strike. Despite this, the participation of physicians has brought a new dimension to the labor action, signaling a shift in how doctors view their roles within large healthcare systems. Dr. Richards noted that the strike might inspire more physicians to unionize. Physicians are no longer autonomous. We are labor, and we need collective bargaining to protect ourselves and our patients, she said. As the strike continues, the focus remains on achieving better conditions for healthcare workers and ensuring quality care for patients. ONA's communication manager, Kevin Mealy, emphasized the growing solidarity among healthcare workers. Quote, as healthcare companies get larger, we have to get stronger to push back and ensure patients get the care they need. I have, I think I told y'all, I got two aunties in 2 different hospitals right now. And it is really amazing to see how different care is administered for different ailments. We see how hard it is for everybody working within a hospital setting. It's pretty visible, right? But I guess what I'm trying to say, we obviously don't know everything and what the day really entails.
Right.
But when you go through the process of doing anything within a hospital setting, you do understand. Oh, okay. So you have 1,000 patients.
Yeah.
It's not just this floor. It's not just there are just not enough people. No matter how many people you see, there are not enough people. And the, range of ailments runs the gamut. And you can have a person who needs very little help on your floor right next to a person that needs a sitter and has to have somebody be with them at all times getting yelled at, What I appreciated a lot when that United Health CEO was shot. How did I start that? Doesn't matter. What I appreciated was seeing a lot of doctors speak up about how healthcare how insurance companies ruin their ability to give care. Mm-hmm. I hadn't heard as many doctors saying that.
Yeah.
Definitely healthcare workers, administrators who are, like case managers will say a lot, this person is going to die if they don't get this stuff, but the insurance company won't, but hearing doctors say it, I think gives a different level of, not importance, but maybe importance for the people that need to hear that in order to do better.
Wow.
None of these things are going to get better. They're not going to get better because they decide all of a sudden that we really should be doing healthcare.
No.
Like, that's one of the things that we collectively need to understand, that we have different motivations. And it's hard to wrap your mind around the fact that somebody's motivation could solely be profit and be in an industry that is about helping people.
It's also harder for us to wrap our minds around that on a consistent basis if we, like you said before, if we keep referring to it as healthcare. You were like, we got to break that
the insurance part.
First.
Yeah.
We got to stop calling it healthcare because it is not healthcare.
No.
Yeah.
It's insurance.
It's insurance. Someone put up a post on... Yeah, I know what you just read because I read it while you were reading the story, and it took everything in me not to bust out laughing because that's certainly a t-shirt. So hold on to that. Yeah, Bob is wild.
I'm literally holding my mouth. So
Someone put up a post, and it was a clip from The Incredibles, and they were like, how The Incredibles took on the insurance industry back. This is the first film, so I don't know if you remember. Mr. Incredible, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But he's working at an insurance company.
I don't think I remembered that.
And it's like, he's just at his desk and he's just like, you could tell he wants to be a superhero. He doesn't want to have a day job.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there and there's this old woman sitting across from him and her claim's getting denied. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. So he's just rattling off the stuff that he's,
the talking
from the playbook.
Points. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am. This is the policy. Da 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 da. You don't meet this requirement. Da 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 da. And she's just like, but what am I going to do? Da 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 da. And I can't afford this. And then something in him snaps, and he's like, yeah, I wish there was something I could do. And then he grabs a notepad and a pencil, and he's like, I wish I could tell you to head up to the 3rd floor and talk to such and such and such and such and present for him, da 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 da. But I can't really do that. And he's like motioning it to her right. And I was just like, oh man, that was, man. It's just like, it's understood. This is what insurance companies do. The opposite of their job. This isn't new. Like, this isn't a Disney film. It's understood.
Right.
It's an evil industry. Here's a superhero on his day off, still fighting crime. Like,
I feel like I need to watch The Incredibles again, just to be able to speak to them being class warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did Bob say, MJ?
Bob said, Hegseth is being referred to on the internet as a DUI hire.
Love it. Love it.
DUI hire is wild work. That is so funny. And
oh man.
Maybe we, shouldn't make fun of Gunner's dad so much, but I'm going to. Wow.
Yeah.
A DUI hire is beautiful.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite, those internet pages that do like best ofs.
Yeah.
So it'll be like best of the internet kind of thing. One of my favorite exchanges is someone says, responds to a woman's story and is like, dang girl, I'm gonna get you pregnant. And she's like, I have an IUD. And he's like, you don't have to drive, I'll come get you.
Okay. Man, gotta love it.
Don't want you driving drunk there. I feel like you should not
I
get
said, Bob, I'm dead. Oh, goodness.
Samesies.
Yeah. Wowzers. Ooh. Mm. Oh, goodness.
Well, we do have other stories.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm
scrolling to the top of the Dizoc now. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let me hit that. The protest at the at his confirmation hearing.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
During the Senate confirmation hearing for Pete Hegseth, President-elect Donald Trump's nominee for Secretary of Defense, multiple protesters interrupted proceedings, voicing strong objections to his nomination. The disruptions were led by military veterans who criticized Hegseth's past remarks and policies, particularly concerning women, LGBTQ plus individuals, and U.S. support for Israel's actions in Gaza. One protester, Josephine Guillebeau, a military veteran and fellow at the Eisenhower Media Network, excuse me, stood up during the hearing to denounce Hegseth's history of hateful remarks and to demand an end to U.S. support for what she described as genocide in Gaza. She emphasized that her actions were motivated by a desire to change the war machine that she believes harms both military personnel and civilians worldwide. She also stood up and was talking about veterans that had been committing suicide. And she said her father, a veteran,
committed to it. Yep.
Another veteran, Greg Stoker, an anti-war activist and analyst with Mint Press News, also participated in the protest. Stoker expressed concerns about the militarization of U.S. foreign policy and the impact of such global policies on global populations. He highlighted the need for accountability and a reevaluation of the nation's military engagements. The protesters were swiftly removed from the hearing room by Capitol Police, but their actions underscored the contentious nature of Hegseth's nomination. Critics have pointed to allegations of sexual assault, excessive alcohol use, and financial mismanagement during his tenure with the veterans' nonprofit organizations as reasons for concern. Despite the interruptions, Hegseth continued with his opening statement. Throughout the disruptions, he addressed some of the criticisms during the hearing, defending his record and outlining his vision for the Department of Defense under his leadership. Senators on the Armed Services Committee engaged in rigorous questioning of Hegseth, with Democratic members focusing on the allegations against him and his previous statements regarding women in combat roles. Senator Kristen Gillibrand, in particular, pressed Hegseth on his views about the integration of women into military positions, seeking clarity on how he would handle such matters if confirmed. Outside the hearing room, additional protests were organized by groups such as Code Pink, who demonstrated against Hegseth's nomination and U.S. military policies. These demonstrations reflect a broader public debate about the direction of U.S. defense strategy and the individuals chosen to lead it. As the confirmation process continues, the Senate Armed Services Committee will deliberate on the testimonies and evidence presented, weighing the merits and controversies surrounding Hegseth's nomination. The outcome will have significant implications for the future leadership and policies of the Department of Defense. Mann said, after speaking with Trump, his vision for the military is to be robust, even more empowered, basically a war horse.
Yeah. Someone's got to be. Who's going to be it?
War good. Yay. It's like, what?
So one of the protesters said, as he was being let out, he was like, to Pete, you're a misogynist. You are a Christian Zionist. You are a white nationalist, you know? And Cotton? Was it Tom?
Yeah, Tom Cotton.
It's like, let's speak to that I'm a Zionist. I think that's a good thing. What do you think, Pete? And Pete's like, hell yeah, brother. You know,
Right.
like GD right.
No.
They are definitely, like, I think Cotton even said, like, because that just means you think that Israel has a right to exist or something.
Yeah, in its homeland that.
And then goes on to say, in its rightful homeland that's from the dawn of time or history of the dawn of history, right. Something like that. Which it'd be so cool if, like, they knew WTF they were talking about.
Right.
It would be so neat. But we are living, this isn't new. I know that this is not a real hot take. We are living with different base levels of understanding, different base levels of knowledge, different ideas on what makes a fact, you know, like,
unfortunately,
just because someone says it doesn't mean that's the truth. And I think that the way that they just live in, you know, heritage, what's that called? The Heritage Foundation. They just live in those talking points.
PragerU stuff.
All PragerU stuff. They just live in right-wing press releases. Like, they just believe all of that stuff. Even though you can find out for yourself right now if it's true or not, and it's not.
Right.
All these words, all these phrases, all these places, there's definitions, there's reality. And we just don't have to deal with it, I guess, you know? Yep. Like, we just, or they, I mean, it's rough stuff. All right.
The roughest of stuffs. I mean, I feel like we spoke in length about the confirmation before we even got to the story.
Yeah.
But, I wish these things weren't a waste of time. What I found interesting, I did catch the follow-up interview with Greg and, let's see the woman's name? Josephine. I was hitting my notes up.
Yeah, you were there.
On Democracy Now! And Greg said, I don't think we moved the needle. He said, I think the protesting and something else, he said, I think are the least effective forms of change. He said, I do think it's important, though, that our voices are heard during these moments. That opposition is there in whatever form it is, just as a show. And I was like, nah, I feel you. I definitely feel you on that. Because for some people, as ineffective as it may be, that is a starting point. That can be a starting point. And if he was to go up there and had this confirmation and there was no one in opposition to it, there was just no citizenry represented saying this guy is horrible for these reasons.
Right.
It makes it that much easier to just be like, nah, I guess it's no big deal. It's just the Democrats up there democrating, picking fights.
Just doing more Democrat stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with Greg on that. I think so he specifically is a, 4-tour combat veteran and intelligence officer, veteran at this point, and anti-war activist. That's a person who played a hand, saw firsthand, understands what's going on, and I've seen him talk about how so many people leave the military radicalized against America.
Yeah.
And get here, and there's the PTSD of being in war and being, even if you being deployed. Maybe you don't even do the murderings, but you're around it. You're there. You're helping. You're aiding in some way, right? There's that PTSD. He was, then you get here and you're just gaslit by your own politicians that that are saying they're doing. So you just immediately feel crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean that derogatory.
Mm-hmm.
Just immediately don't. What is up and what's down, and
What's
as if
reality?
that doesn't add to the crisis that is mental health. Period. But like for somebody who has just been exposed to and played a part in however many months or years of trauma, that then they're like, if you need to see a shrink, something's wrong with you. Like,
right.
Like the fact that
we're not going to cover it.
Oh yeah, we're definitely not going to cover it. What would we do that for? What do you didn't know alcohol exists?
Your services ran out, bro.
Like, what do you need?
I used to say it a lot in the early days of our show. As anti-military as I am, these are still people that went overseas and put their lives on the line. I don't care what war they were in. I never will be able to understand why when they come home, every single thing that they need hasn't been taken care of.
Isn't already ready for them.
Like, I put them at the front of the line every single time. You talk to us about the importance of the American military and how it's important to domestic stability, and they're out there protecting us. And then they come home and you have nothing but excuses for them.
Nothing.
There shouldn't be not one single houseless veteran unless that veteran's like, I can't sleep on beds anymore. Pillows aren't doing it for me. They're too soft. Like, things have changed. I can't do it. Like, unless it's a choice that they are making. Seriously. There's no excuse. It's the utmost level of disrespect. And forever, it made me question, like, why would people still be enrolling? Why would you still be enlisting? Look at how they treat veterans.
Right.
Like, look at it. You're not seeing your future? That's not the indication of what's in store for you? Right there that you're walking past? Like, couldn't be me. You know what? And that, ladies and gentlemen, was News of My Fiancé with Chaka Jones and myself, DJ Ambush. Shout out to our podcast at the Ecology of Residual Audio. All the text will be added to the description. I've updated the playlist for today's show. And you know what it is, man. Do not let the individuals distract you from the systems. Poverty is a policy choice. People over profits. Power to the people. None of us are free until we're all free. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you Monday night on YouTube at 6:30.
Inauguration MLK Day.
Woo!
It's the mashup we didn't know we'd ever have.
That's a doozy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be all Linkin Park and Jay-Z all night.
No. We're not doing that.
What?
I'm not sanctioning. I'm
what?
not doing that.
The mashup you didn't know you needed.
Hit him with the bye because I'm not doing that.
Bye.